Hey everyone, it is Pee Wee here from Definitive Esports, and of course we are doing from Chobo2Gosu episode number 10, and with me is my co-host On. Yo dude.
Yo.
Yo, how's it going, mate?
Pretty good. I'm hoping this week, I don't think I actually, maybe I told you afterwards, but I'm not sure I told you last week when we started. I forgot to change the screen again at the very beginning. So,
okay.
So this week I'm going to try and be on point.
It's pretty hard, isn't it? Sometimes,
Yeah, it's so easy to forget.
Yeah, and like there is a program that does it for you, but sometimes that program doesn't work either. So, or it bugs, and you're just like, well,
exactly. And then you don't even, yeah, if you don't think about it, you don't even realize. Yep.
Pretty much. Okay, so this episode is number 10. It is TVP, so we are going over the Terran v Protoss matchup from the Terran perspective mainly, and of course, as On loads up the map,
Much quicker.
Much quicker. Oh yes, very nice, and. Yeah, we're going over this. We're gonna just have some units. We're gonna show you little micro techniques, things you need to know, stuff like that, and then we're gonna jump into a game via the AI, which is always a lot of fun. My Terran's even better now, so that should be fun. Actually, I still remember what build I done. It's concussive shell expansion.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
yeah, every time you do it, I keep thinking this isn't gonna do that much damage, but this is being pretty powerful.
All right.
What are you doing?
I don't know. I just want to build some plants and this. So yeah, we're gonna start it up with some Marines v some Zealots. If you wanna build one Zealot, or well, three Zealots and send one out, and bring the others not far too behind. Of course, this is something that was in the StarCraft 2 Master, and as we can see here, Marines are the same speed as Zealots, so if I want to deal damage to the Zealot, I have to take that damage myself, which is always bad. But if I run around him and then bring over my partner, which early game, if a Zealot comes to you, you're going to have at least like 3 Marines.
Right. Yep.
So this is always doable, and you just run around, and if he dies, you just bring another one in.
And so what you guys are seeing is that Pee Wee's really only having to control the one that's running away, because the other one, as long as it stays, sort of makes a circle around the attacking Marine, it automatically will fire, so he doesn't have to do anything with that one. So it looks fancy. It's really not that hard to execute. No,
it's very easy. If you are doing this against someone, be very careful that as you run the Marine past the other Marine, the Zealot doesn't come off and start attacking that Marine.
Right.
If that dies, you're just in a bit of trouble. Now, of course, you can't really do this with anything other than one Zealot, as if you want to bring in 2 Zealots, my good friend.
2 Zealots brought in.
Like, even if you attack that one Marine, it's going to be so hard. And if you attack 2, it's just it's just next to impossible. Yeah, it's so hard. On the unit test you can do it because you can only do it against an AI. You can't do it against an actual real opponent because they'll be smart enough to realize what's going on. And yeah, it never works out. Of course, the next step up, and this is what I'll be showing you mainly, is Marauders with concussive shells. If you want to have, you have 2 Zealots.
2 Zealots. Yeah.
2 Zealots with concussive shell.
Here I come.
I have 2 Marauders, so I have 2 Zealots, 2 Marauders, which means the Marauders will win this fight. Because of course, they pretty much win the fight anyway, because they are damage dealers and they are ranged. But with concussive shells, they won't take damage. You can hit whichever one is closest to you, and that slows it down.
Just like that. Nice and easy. And the concussive shell is an upgrade you can get as soon as you have a tech lab for 50-50, 50 minerals, 50 gas.
Yep, and it takes 40 seconds, I think. Of course, the next step up then is have some more Marauders. If we have some Zealots and some Stalkers, because of course, early game you get some Stalkers. Stalkers are very nice. They are ranged, they are faster than Marauders. But of course, they are armored, so they deal extra damage to Marauders, but Marauders also deal extra damage to them, and Marauders deal much more extra damage to them. And in a straight up fight, they just get owned. Not even a
a contest.
no. If you want to add in one stalker, no, 2 stalkers, 2 zealots. Right. So we have the same thing. You have to run away from the zealots. So unlike the stalkers, I can't really just run up to them, because of course zealots deal good damage, and marauders don't deal the extra damage to them. But you pretty much get the stalkers with a hit. They'll get slowed down. Kill them. And then you kite.
The battle's yours. Right. You can keep everything alive pretty easily.
Ta-da! So these same marauders have killed like a bunch of the Terran units, the Protoss units. And of course, the next step up then, just build some standard gateway units. This is kind of what you see a mid-game fight is like. Do you have your
No,
gateway upgrades?
I need to get my gateway upgrades. Okay.
So of course, with gateway upgrades we mean stim, not stim, I always say stim. We mean charge and blink, which just gives the Protoss a bit more microbility during these fights. And are you ready?
Ready.
There's 4 shields. Oh shit. That was a bit of a mistake.
Yeah, whoops.
And that probably just cost me it. No.
I think so, yeah, when you pulled those units back up in the medevac.
Yeah, definitely.
Can we, I did it again, by the way. I forgot to switch the scene. Can we really quickly show the very beginning? Because I think it's something that's best seen in talking about it helps, but just real quick that...
the 1 Marine v Zealots.
Yeah.
Or the 2 Marines.
2 Marines versus 1 Zealot trick.
Yeah. Alright, target the closest one to you.
Oh, shoot, hold on.
Well, we can do it from my... I don't have charge, so...
Oh, you don't have charge, yeah, let's switch that up then.
I'm targeting the one closest.
Alright.
So yeah, what's going on here is we're attacking the the Marine, and of course they're the same speed, so no damage is dealt until the Marine tunes, because that does slow it down for a little bit. And of course behind that is the Marine just dealing damage to the Zealot. You know, it's unwinnable race to the Zealot, so there's just damage being dealt, and eventually the Marine dies. Of course, as you said, we can't do this with anything more than 1 Zealot, pretty much, because it's just too hard to micro. Like, if I go for 1 Marine, like I can go for each one, I can change it, and a player will do this.
Right. So unless you have some god tier micro,
Yeah.
it's impossible to juggle 2 plus Zealots.
Yeah.
In the very
You pretty much have to control each Marine independently.
Yep. This is something you only see in the very, very beginning.
Yeah. Okay. You're gonna kite me.
Oh, I was just going to drive you away from my base.
I like fire.
Alright, there we go. Okay, so I just wanted to make sure people could see that. The other one we just demonstrated again, the Marauder slow.
Cool. Alright, so this is PvT. Next after that, let's do some... Actually, can you build some just pure Stalker, just pure, what do you call it, Zealot. And meet me upwards.
With upgrades? Cause...
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Alright, so this is something I was showing my friend before. I was like, yo dude, this is, like, cause I try to help my friends and give them tricks and stuff.
Yeah.
And this is the type of thing that you want to be doing, right? Or you want to learn at least. And it's how to, of course you always have the Zealots at the front, because Zealots are melee units, they need to be dealing damage by being next to their opponent. And the Stalkers stay behind. And of course you want to avoid the Zealots and go straight for the Stalkers, and then you can just straight up kite the Zealots for the rest of the fight. So, see now you're coming for me, come for me. I'd be like... Oh. And yeah, I do lose that fight in the end. Wait there, one more time please.
Yeah. I also have a lot of Zealots.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can not blink all my Stalkers back at the same time again.
Ah, that was even worse. Never mind. That pretty much is, I was trying to get to the point, if you build less units.
Yeah, let's just make it a little more of a fair fight. It's so hard for me to judge, because I don't play Protoss. It's hard for me to judge what even numbers are, and I don't play much TVP.
Yeah. Okay, if you have that many, I'm gonna bring some back.
Yep. Alright, here we go.
Cool. Alright, you ready?
I'm ready. Let's
Alright,
do this.
So. Oh, wrong hockey. Maybe when I done it before it wasn't with charge. Inevitably you would kind of lose that fight.
Charge changes things. Changes a lot.
It really does. It just Zealots deal so much damage and they deal it like guaranteed with charge.
Right.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. I think charge. But charge. I mean, the other thing is in terms of the actual game, your charge usually isn't something that you see Protoss players rush for, whereas the concussive shell you tend to get a lot earlier. So
yeah,
this is sort of more like I think a mid-late game fight.
Oh yeah, definitely. It has to be mid. It's got to be mid. The only thing is there would be medevacs.
Right, that's the other big thing, is there'd be medevacs to heal, so you wouldn't, you could you'd be stimming, but you'd also be recovering a lot of that damage taken.
Oh.
What else is there? Do we need to go over Colossus or anything like that?
We can do. My life fire.
What? You're terrible. What?
I know.
You got
still.
You're crazy.
It's ingrained into my skull.
So BM.
Alright, so yeah. We'll do some standard. We'll do like one Colossus, a couple gateway units, and I'll do some bio with some Colossus.
Range, no range.
Range. Alright, so we're just having a quick little fight here. This is going to be something small. This is a very small scale of something that happens pretty much every single game PvT or at some point. Of course, there's Vikings for the Colossus. There's certain ways that this fight kind of builds out as well. Because of course, Vikings are the same range, so you can, force engagement. Say I'm like waiting back here. Oh. He does have blink if he needs it. He has to be very careful. And if anything moves out of the wrong spot at any time, someone can capitalize on it. Pretty hard.
Darn that medevac heal.
At one point, if it's one Stalker v like 2 medevacs, you're just never going to be able to kill it because there's too much damage being healed.
Yeah.
It's very annoying. Very annoying. That's what makes it like. Sometimes it'll be a close fight, and then as soon as it starts snowballing for Terran, or like for the Protoss from the Terran's perspective, like it's just like Stim and medevacs will just like roll your army and make the counterattack so hard to deal with, which is really good. So yeah, do you want to jump into it via the AI?
Let's do it.
Let's do it, brother.
Alright, let me get the map set up for you. I don't even have to ask. This is it is really convenient, isn't it? Just know exactly what to do.
Easy peasy.
Because we never play on any other maps. Although I think to be honest, I think it's really helpful to have that one map that you practice on. So when you're just starting out, you're playing against the AI. If you practice against one map in the very beginning, it's one less thing you have to worry about.
Definitely. One
less thing as you start to get comfortable with the game.
And I'm Terran. AI's Boros, yeah. Cool. Gravy, baby. And yeah, that is an important thing, because as there are certain points in maps where, like, you may not know something, like, if you can blink from X to Y.
Yep.
And that makes a big difference, like.
And playing on one map as you're in the game, and even after you get your basic hand on it, playing sort of really focusing on one map at a time when you're practicing, lets you learn those maps a lot better. So you have a feel for what works and what doesn't work. Whereas if you're just trying every single map, it's hard to get a feel for what optimal ways to play, or what the optimal way to play is.
Yep. So here we are. I'm gonna go for something like it's a 13. No, it's a 12 racks, isn't it? 12 racks, yep. 12 13 racks. Or 14 gas. Very quick tech lab on my barracks, and I'm gonna go for Marauders with concussive shell because I know the AI likes to get zealots early on, which means of course I can kite, and I think it will go for a what do we call that? Colossus.
Is that immortal? Oh, Colossus.
No, it normally goes for a Colossus. And Marauders are better at dealing with Colossus than Marines.
Much better. Much better indeed, because Colossus are armored. And,
yes.
And Marauders, again, because they have 55 health versus, or 45, 55 with the upgrade, combat shields. 55 health for Marines versus 125 for Marauders. So Marauders can just take a lot more punishment.
And I'm going to be ballsy, I'm not going to scout. Not going to scout me.
I'll scout for you. I just want to tell you what's going on. But the audience will know. All our viewers. So they can laugh if you're
doing terrible.
Doing terrible, yes indeed.
I love the viewers.
Alright. So yeah, everything pretty standard so far. Protoss hasn't done anything special. As soon as that gas goes up, immediately 3 SCVs in the gas.
Yep.
lets you start that tech lab immediately, and then with 3 SCVs and gas, as soon as that tech lab finishes, you'll be able to get concussive shells, and you should be able to start a Marauder as well. So nothing's delayed.
Yeah, well, you get the concussive shells just a little bit later. That's not the biggest deal, because you have to obviously produce the Marauder.
Yep. I thought it would time out a little bit differently. I have to admit,
my gas was a little late.
Oh,
so
okay.
that
Yeah,
didn't help.
I'm most familiar with doing one RAS expands and then going into a bunch of stuff and usually doing double gas after that. So the early gas always throws me off. Chasing away that probe. That probe actually...
I got 3 shots.
Probe didn't see anything except the Marauder, or except the barracks of the tech lab. So, no, it sees the Marauder because it's chasing after it. What's Protoss doing? What is that Zealot doing? Just running around inside the base, just checking for proxies, I guess. Whew, you got juked.
Yeah, I know. But I got another one come down, so I don't think it's the biggest deal.
Sneaky probe. Right, so you guys saw Pew was able to use concussive shells both offensively and defensively. He was able to use it defensively, or sort of defensively, in the sense that he was able to keep the Zealots away from him as he was dealing damage, and then when they tried to run away, he was able to use it offensively and keep the Zealots from getting too far out of range. So he was still able to deal damage, and the Zealot was never able to completely get away and get safe. And all he's doing is it's one Marauder at a time. Back home, he's getting a bunker up so he can be safe for any sort of counter pushes. He's got an expansion on the way. He's adding on 2 more barracks, and all his he's putting on that pressure in front with those 4 Marauders. Because he was able to pick off the units early, he's able to go with those Zealots early. His Protoss opponent has very few units, or very few army units, and so he's pushing in the main to continue to harass, which will pretty much be just a kill.
Yep. Oh.
Stimstar back home, starting to finishing up 2 reactors, start adding on Marines, round out the biome.
And
wasn't even necessary.
Nope. I don't even think I lost a unit then either. So it's funny when that happens. So yeah.
Well played.
Thank you, thank you. Pretty easy. So yeah, hopefully, a lot of people saw just the basics of what you can do and like how far you can take it for the victory.
Yep, power control.
Yeah, the Zealots. Well, the AI didn't build anything but Zealots, and of course, Zealots against concussive shell with Marauders are never going to be that good.
Never gonna turn out well. But I think one of the other things new players can see is that you don't need to have. I think also the other thing is a lot of new players want to get the 200 death army before they feel like they can push an attack and be aggressive. But you saw that we were able to see that you don't need a lot of units. No. Especially in the early game, you don't need a lot of units to be able to put on pressure to do damage. But if you can control them well, the bio army can be really, really effective and efficient.
Absolutely, and yeah, so hopefully everyone learned from that. Next episode is going to be TVT, so please tune in for that. And there we are. Thank you for tuning in. Bye bye.